and then go ahead, Channing, and then we have a couple chats.
Okay.
questions.
Hey, Miss Channing.
Hi,
Hey,
how
hey.
are you?
How's life up there?
It's, I think the umbrella answer is it's fine, it's good. But more specific question I wanted to ask you was a little bit, it's not directly oils related, but I would love to see if there's a solution
Sure.
with oils. I am having a hard time moving out of my home.
Yeah, you could do that.
I'm having a hard time separating because we've been trying to move in together for the last several months.
Mhm.
And there's really nothing stopping me, but for some reason, it's just kind of hard to transition into, our new home. So I wanted to see if there was anything that I
So
can use.
not that it would matter with the treatment, but like just curious, do you think it's more about leaving your old house or moving into the new house and being in a new situation?
Yeah, that's really, really astute of you and very insightful question. I think it's hard to say goodbye to this home because
Yeah.
when we moved my last box out, I wasn't emotional at all, but all of a sudden, when Dana put the last box on his truck, I just broke down in tears.
Yeah.
It just came on for automatically. It was just so weird. So I wanted to see if there was something I could do to kind of pay attention to that. So a little bit of a grief and a little bit of separation anxiety or something very odd.
Yeah, I mean,
And by the way, I'm not selling this home. That's the other
right.
stage.
But still, it's not even so much the home, but it's like your life, what you had been doing, you know what I mean? And it's not even that it's like, oh, I'm doing this because something bad's happening. It still can be very good,
Mhm.
but still shifting, changing. So a couple things that I would explore. So one would be assemblage point, and I would think about the house. And then I'd also think about you being in the new place and like as you visualize it, more permanent than like, oh, I'm just gonna go over there for a night or two, you know what I mean? Like really like, okay, this is my new thing. And then the other thing, like I'm looking this up real quick. Yeah, you probably don't have violet leaf.
Which one?
It's violet leaf. It's going to be in a kit for the the mystical psychic protection class, but it's
Is there a substitute?
um
Or something that I have now?
yeah, let me think about that. Like I'll have to go through some notes and we'll shoot you an email if I can find something.
Okay.
The violet leaf raises the vibration of your physiology, which means it activates more of the upper centers and less the lower centers, but it's very specific about change. Like it really helps one move through changes a little bit easier. And let me find something. Honestly, I tried the assemblage point thing first, like right off the bat.
I feel like there's something that we've done in the past that helps move through change. Is it detachment? Or is
It
it also
could be, well, there's different aspects of change.
Mhm.
And so for something like this, you're really, there's change because of good reasons, there's change because of bad reasons, there's all these like little variations. And this is what I've said in the past about this. It's really, like, in a way, it's really easy to let go of something that has caused you suffering, but try letting go of something that worked for you or that you love. That was really hard. That was
Okay, so
really,
as you
really,
said that,
really
my
hard.
throat started to constrict.
Yeah, yeah. Like back in the day when I was a full-time therapist, I wasn't teaching, this was 25 years ago or whatever. And the guru was telling me like, you have to teach, and I argued with him on a regular basis, like, nope, don't want to do it. And finally I like go, okay, I'm gonna do it. it took me so long to like shift out of it. And I was like, why is this so hard? Like I deal with problems. Like, I'm not like a massive go-getter, but I'm kind of a go-getter. Like I like if I have an issue, I like engage it and I try to work through it. Right. And this one I just couldn't. And I sat and I was doing contemplations with some Buddhist friends and everything. And I just had this aha moment. It's life is good. And I'm having to let it go for some mystery, hope it's good thing. You know what I mean? And it meant not just I'm going to be going to a different place or doing something different. It meant a whole kind of lifestyle change. And I had gotten my life the way that I wanted it to be. I had really fine-tuned everything. I was like, I have arrived. And I got to enjoy it for like 6 months. And then it was like, okay, now the next thing, which that's growth. Like that's evolution. But tell my brain that my brain was having no part of it. And it took me a while to work through it. And so the issue is in the Ming Men, by the way. Like it's a Ming Men issue. But the Ming Men can be an issue for cycles. It can be an issue for change. It can be even the idea of consequences or cause and effect, where we keep like doing the same thing and not being able to break out of the pattern of the cause and effect. All that is a Ming Men issue. And so when you're working with the assemblage point, you could think of the situation, feel it in the body, but I would spend time with it, inhaling it with it on your Ming Men and on your brain is where I would do it. Things in the past, like, there's that blend for Padmasambhava, and there's, things for like etheric cords and even protective webs. There's all kinds of things that you could do, but this is a different kind of change. And
What would you call this change?
well, your lower faculties are like, we got it good here. What are you doing? Why are you doing this? Stop it. Where the higher faculties are like, this is going to be a good thing. This is a choice. This is the next natural step. And it's almost like you're having to like walk a dog to this new place that doesn't want to go for a walk. Like they're just doing this the whole way and you're pulling on the leash. And the idea of the assemblage point would shift the perceptions, but the idea of the violet leaf is to move the energy from the lower centers up. It's like it makes the lower faculties more flexible when it comes to the lower nature and having to shift and change. And so even with just the assemblage point, do the materialization breath as well. Like see yourself in the place, because the back and forth with the head, the forehead and the back head, it's breaking down thought forms, it's breaking down viewpoints, repetitive thoughts, things like this, right? But part of it is the back and forth is your throat has to do with the lower mind, which is your past experiences and opinions and things like that. And so when you're up like this, you're opening up that throat, right? But when you're down, you're opening up the back throat, and the back throat is tied more to pre-conscious thought. And those are things that are down there, but they're not like in your mind, but like if you think about them, you can access them. You know what I mean? And a lot of times when we're having difficulties with things like this, it's not in the conscious mind, it's in the pre-conscious mind. It's just like down there a little bit. And so by visualizing the goal and then using the assemblage point to go through and do the materialization breath, you're breaking down the thoughts, and then you're breaking down the blockages in the lower mind and the pre-conscious mind. Because like a lot of times, like that's the thing that's just like, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm just not going to do it. It's down there, but it's not in your mind all the time. And so by going through and doing this, you're bringing things from the pre-conscious mind into the conscious mind, where you can evaluate that and then go, yeah, I don't agree with that, or I'm going to challenge that thought of myself, or, I'm going to put it up and even look at the pros and cons of this, whatever it is. But when it's in the pre-conscious state, it's like playing hide and seek with something. Like it's there and then it hides, and then it's there and then it hides. So the materialization thing, you're bringing it forward, and then the whole process itself is also infusing light into that situation, which just keeps bringing things to the surface and keeps things moving. And so between the two, I think you should get there.
Okay, so assemblage point, Ming Men, and brain, and then materialization.
Mhm. And the violet leaf is going to be in that class in a few weeks, and so
Would you want me to use the violet leaf together?
I would try the
with
assemblage point
assemblage
first.
point?
Yeah, I would try the assemblage point first, and then if that didn't work, I'd go to the violet leaf.
So is the violet flame more appropriate for this?
No, not violet flame, violet.
I'm sorry, violet leaf.
Yeah, yeah. Those would be my two go-to ones. And so either one, starting with either one, I suspect the assemblage point's probably going to work. So that's why I was like, yeah, start with that. By the time you kind of work that for a week or two, violet leaf is going to be coming your way if you do the class anyway. So, then you can check it out and see. But yeah.
Thank you, Greg. Can I use this for a new opportunity as well? Not the
Yeah.
house, but
Yeah, for like work or something. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, think of assemblage point is a way to break down internal and external resistances and shifting your ability to change your perceptions. Going back to the thing with the house, life is good. I don't want to leave. Like we've got a maid here. This all feels good. And it's like, yeah, but I'm in new situations. It's time to let this grow. I've outgrown this, whatever it is. That's a change in perception. And you can have the I don't want to leave here and I really want to leave here. Both of those can exist, and the thing with the assemblage point, it just makes it easier to break free of those older things and move into something that's a different direction or a newer direction.
okay. That
Yeah.
was really helpful. Thank you so much.
Yeah. And then if for some reason, if those two things don't work, like we'll figure it out, but I think those will nail it.